Stephanie, I hope you're doing well. I hope you have recovered since then. All right, so we are down. So this is the card I made, and I'm going to slide the comments over so I can make sure I'm in the screen. This is the card I made after our sun. We had a beautiful sunset. Cherie, I don't know if you saw the sunset out front, but it was absolutely gorgeous. So I made this card really quickly. I used the new blender brushes, and I'm gonna tell you, we're not making this card today, but we can do it another time. But I'm gonna tell you what I used. I used Bumblebee. I used Melon Mambo. And then I used a couple different blues. So there's only 2 colors aside from that. I used Misty Moonlight I started with. And then I added in some Pretty Peacock at the bottom. And then I kind of evened out the dark bottom with Night of Navy. And then with the rest of the Night of Navy, I kind of went over it because it was almost a little too bright. And then I stamped the pines, which I did this tree and this tree. I stamped them, but I used VersaFine because it's a really nice black deep ink. The only problem is it's a pigment ink, so you have to wait for it to dry. But those are the colors I used. And so what I figured is eventually I'm going to mount this, and I'm going to do this with, I don't really know exactly what I'm going to make into it yet, but I thought it was really pretty. So it was good considering we were just like doing a mock-up of out front. This obviously doesn't know justice whatsoever. It was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sunset tonight. Okay, so for the cards we're going to make today, while I'm getting this ready, I'm just going to put these names here in case anybody missed them from earlier. Those are the people who were the winners from the drawing I did while I was away. I also got the donkeys. I don't know if you guys have seen the, you did see. Elena saw it. That's awesome. I'm glad somebody else is looking at the sunset besides me. I got the donkeys. That'll be coming up soon. And I know this is kind of hard because unless you want to join, you're probably not going to be interested in this yet because personally we still have Christmas to get to. But I thought this was really nice. That's really cute. And then Many Messages has a die that actually will cut out one of each of the things on the shape, which I thought was a really cool idea. Oh, here it is, as a matter of fact. So it will cut out. I thought this was pretty neat. I know lots of other companies that have done this. So if you flip this over and pull, so you can see. Oops. And it should somehow, right there. I mean, obviously it's not the size, but you'll have all these little things. A lot of little words and stuff that'll fit. So I think this is pretty neat. And apparently this fits lots of other words too. So might be smart. One demonstrator actually cut this in window sheet and then she moved it around to see if it fit. So I thought that was a really good idea too. So stay tuned for that. There's some really nice paper, some great paper that goes with the manly stuff. So I am really looking forward to that. So I'm going to pop in my speaker. Okay. For some reason you can't hear me, just let me know, but I have it connected. I think we should be good. So if your name is on this list, make sure you send me an email with your full mailing address. Make sure you include your zip code, because if not, I can't send it. It does have to be in the United States, so if you're not in the United States, I'll say I'm sorry, I apologize. I will send you a card, though. I can certainly send a card. So what I thought we would do today is, I kind of thought maybe you might be able to use some ideas for gift cards. And then while I was doing that, I thought you could also kind of make this into a Z-fold card as well, because those are pretty nice. So we are going to use, this is Misty Moonlight. So I have this 4 1/4 scored in half at 5 1/2. And so here was my idea. And then this is scored at 2 3/4, and then I took just a hair off. Well, at least I think I did. I believe I took a hair off. Nope, for this one I didn't. Hold on, because I want to take a hair off, because otherwise it doesn't close exactly well. So I'm going to show you. And it really is literally just probably like a 1/16 of an inch. So I'm going to put this over here. It should be good with a 1/16. Let's see. Yep. So just like that, just a 1/16. But now that I'm looking at this, I feel like this looks crooked. Try that again. Okay. I think that's okay. Hopefully, I might have cut my paper a little bit crooked, but anyway, you could take off a little bit more if you wanted to. So I cut out, again, these are meant to be very quick and easy. I cut out a piece of 4 by 5 1/4. This is the Trimming the Town DSP. And then I cut 2 additional pieces that measure 4 by 2 1/2. And I thought what we could do for this is we could put these here, just so you have like a little bit of a contrast of color. And then we will add a little something. I'm not really 100% sure what. We're going to add something to this and then something on the inside. So again, I don't have this stamp set, but I do have, hold on, let me see where I put them. So we have lots of other things. We could just do Season's Greetings, would be very simple. I did get out my Tasteful Touches dies because I thought maybe I would use one of these for the die for the front. We have, this one will be nice, Enjoy the Stillness of the Season. Lots of great sentiments. This one will be really nice as well. You could do something with the ornaments, especially for you would be nice. So maybe we'll do something with that. I thought we could always bring in this one, Don't Stop Believin'. It's all fun and games until Santa checks the naughty list. I think that's really cute. Don't get your tinsel in a tangle. I like that one too. So maybe we'll do him with the tinsel in a tangle. And we also always have this one. I love this one too. We'll do this one for the other card because I have a little thing with people I think will be really cute. So what we'll do is I'm going to grab a little scrap piece of cardstock. This is just Whisper White. And I'm going to stamp the elf. And I'm going to stamp him in Memento. I'm just going to go ahead and stamp him really quick. That way he has time to dry because we'll color him in with the blends. Oh, that one looks a little bit goopy. Let's see if I can pull it off. Okay, and I'm going to do Don't Get Your Tinsel in a Tangle, because I think that's cute. Oh, you have a mini donkey. How adorable is that? Aren't you lucky? And then for the sentiment, since we have Misty Moonlight, I'm going to stamp the sentiment in that because I think it'll look kind of neat. A mini donkey. So you must live on a farm or have a good amount of land or something, huh? Okay, so Don't Get Your Tinsel in a Tangle. I just think that was just kind of cute. We'll give this just a second to dry. In the meantime, I'm just going to grab my big scissors and I'm going to cut kind of along the edge of the words here. I'm going to put him just to dry. Don't forget, I have still a special through the 21st that if you spend $35 or more in my online store, there is a host code that you need to use. You'll get a free pack of holiday rhinestones. And speaking of sale, they are going to have a Stampin' Up sale. It is the 24th. Is that next Thursday? I don't know. Is that Black Friday or is that Thanksgiving? I don't even know which day it is. I probably should have looked. But anyway, there are a very large amount of things that are 10% off. But the biggest thing, there are a few things that are omitted, and I will post the list to my blog, and I will attempt to upload it here to Facebook. But the coolest thing is there are bundles on sale. So if you buy a bundle, you can get an extra 10% off of the 10% bundle price. So I think that's probably some of the things that are the best deals because 10% isn't a humongous amount, but if you get bundles or 10% and then you get another 10% off, I think that's a pretty good deal for that. So what we're going to do while we're waiting for him, I'm going to just go ahead and put this down. I probably need to have some sort of a cutout or do something white with this as well. And just to be on the safe side with these, because sometimes, you know, when you glue something down, when it's on a little piece of paper, you can kind of goof it up. So I'm going to put liquid glue and put this down. Went a little bit. Look, see right there, I just goofed up just a smidge. Just a little bit off. Okay, and here, same thing. I'm just going to glue the same one. So the outside's going to kind of be like just snowflakey and pretty subtle. And then we'll have these here, and then we'll put the elf one there. So one other thing, I should have mentioned this ahead of time. You're not really supposed to punch more than 2 pieces of paper. Now, since I already did this, I'm going to do it. And sometimes the way it lines up, I kind of like it better because it is a little difficult to duplicate. But I'm going to just center my circle punch. I'm just using the 2 1/4. It just happened to be the one I grabbed. You could also do this with a die. But I'm just kind of eyeballing, making sure it's centered enough. Ooh, and I'm going to pop that out. Sorry, that was kind of loud. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some tearing tape on the side here. You don't need to really do this part here, so I'm just going to put it on the side. Probably doesn't even need to go all the way up to the end. Probably right there is fine. And pull that. Oh, good gravy. Pull that. Close this. So oh Lord, please don't tell me I don't have one. I usually have 8 million different gift cards here. I guess I finally must have put them away. So I'm going to put in, see if this will fit, a Crafter Solutions business card. And that will be our gift card holder. So that's going to be right there. Okay, so this is closed nicely. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of liquid glue here. Now we do want the houses face up. So I'm going to put that, this will be opposite, just like so. If you haven't visited the Crafter Solutions Facebook or Etsy shop, they are a great thing to purchase for Christmas because everybody needs a little bit of Crafter Solution in their life, that's for sure. So I'm going to color him in. And what we're going to do is, since we kind of have like a blue and reddish theme, I'm going to kind of try to stick with the same thing. So I'm going to pull out Misty Moonlight, and I'm going to do that. So he's going to be a different color elf. He's not going to be like your traditional red and green. So we'll do something different. So I'm going to do blue. So I'm going to start with Misty Moonlight. Is this dark or light? That's light. And even the light is kind of dark for this. So kind of use your best judgment. You can always leave him so he's not fully colored in. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to go ahead with the bullet tip of the dark. Bring in a little bit of shading. And I'm going to bring in the bullet tip of the light. And for a nice contrast, we're going to make him or her a red-headed elf, because I think the red should contrast nicely with the blue. Okay, I'll go with that for now. Let's see, do I have Poppy Parade? That was just what I wanted. Do a little red hair for the Poppy Parade. And this one back here, I never can feel like, is this part of the hood or hair? So we're going to make, it's going to be part of the hood today. All right, so same thing again. I'm just going to go ahead with some of the clothes. The one thing about this is it's kind of hard to tell because of the way he's colored in, he or she, again, depending on what you want to call your elf. Until you actually finish doing it, you can't quite tell if you got all the clothing parts or not, which can make it a little bit difficult. All right, and we're going to make the boots dark. So that was light. I'm just going to add a little bit of dark. Just a couple touches, and we can always reblend a little bit if we need to. And I'm going to make the boots dark. That looks pretty good. And then I'm just going to go back in, and I think I'm actually going to swap. So, your punches are difficult to open and close. That is a really good question. Do you think it could be, and I'm not saying this, I'm only saying this because sometimes I have issue, is it potentially that you're just having trouble with them and everybody else can get them open, or do you think they really are hard to open? Because I have a few. You could probably give them a little bit of a spritz with some WD-40, because I can't imagine it would harm them. WD-40 isn't, I mean, it is, you know, pretty good for loosening stuff up. I'm going to go with light. So I have the ivory. I will tell you one thing, the more you open them and close them, the looser they do get. So maybe you could just give them a squeeze a few times, might be kind of enough to help. That would be a suggestion. Aside from that, I don't know. I've only had ones that occasionally, if I get it stuck, they're a little bit difficult to kind of get closed again. I'm going to just give a little bit of pinkish to the cheek. I know that's a lot, but I'm going to blend it out again with the ivory. And I certainly don't mean to say that you're a weakling, that you can't get your punches open. So I hope you didn't take it that way. But I know sometimes with, especially with one arm versus the other with me, I have a hard time with getting things open. Actually, with my dominant hand now. So I'm just picking just a couple different colors. I'll do like a purple too. I feel like this might have been Purple Posy, now that I think about it. Yep, should have known. That color is so light, it's really can be hard to use sometimes. All right, and then I'm just gonna, oh, I forgot one more I missed up there. I'm just gonna bring in the green. I'm going to change this one to orange. Okay. I see I missed one more. I'm just going to faux fill this in. Okay, and I'm going to go back one more time. I just want to bring in just a little bit of, I'm going to kind of go over where the tangle lines are, so I'm not going to really necessarily color in my wire. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm not going to color that in green, but cute enough. So I'm going to cut him out, and I have my layering ovals, so I'm going to use those. Doesn't need to be huge, just big enough to cut him out. Maybe a little bit bigger than that one. Okay, so there's that. And then while I'm at it, I'm going to just cut out something to put on the inside so I can kind of add a little sentiment. I'm just going to go with something like that because it's pretty simple. So I'm going to cut both of these out. Has anybody else come up with any other solutions for the punches? If you did, feel free to share them. Even if you had something that didn't work. That way she knows not to try it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe a little bit of WD-40. It isn't just me. I believe you. Opening and closing them a couple times, that also usually does it. But I think I've had more of them where they've gotten stuck. Like closed and they didn't open. That's probably more the problem I had. So we're going to just pop him up. We'll put him or her, whatever it is, on the front. I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals. Actually, I just have some little dimensional pieces left. And okay, and then same with this one. I'm going to just put some liquid glue on here, and we'll just stick this directly down. All right. And then I'm not going to attach this yet, but I'm going to show you so you have a spot to write in so it doesn't cover up too much of the house. I cut this out. This was from Tasteful Touches. So it is one of the dies that goes with this. Again, this is a bundle if you get the stamp set and the dies. And then I'm going to put this in here. That way I can write a greeting. I can add a little sentiment, but it doesn't block the houses. The other thing you can do is you can even stamp this ahead of time, write your message, and then I would even pop this up because it's cute. So gift card holder here for that one. So there's that. Let me just make sure these are closed and scoot these out of the way. And we have one more, so that was one. The other one, I will say, is probably equally as simple. The only thing we're going to do is we're going to change around the layout to it just a smidge, but it's still pretty easy. And this one is even simpler because of how we're going to do the layout. So I thought this would be a cool idea, and I'll show it to you once I actually get into it. So there's a couple other things. One other one that I thought would be neat, and I'm not going to be able to finish this because I feel like the battery's not going to make it. But if you have, so the same design for this one, you have this for your gift card holder, right? So that's that. This one I already did trim down, so I trimmed off that little piece. And we would close this here. And then you could put this on the front so you have some contrasting piece here, and I will finish this eventually and post a picture of it. But I think the coolest sentiment would be for this one. You could actually have this one so it's hanging off, and I want to show you instead of just telling you. This one would be really cute if this was like people singing. So you could stamp your sentiment. The best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear. We could have this like kind of hanging off, and we could put that on there, and I think that would be so cute. So that's my card. This would be like the second gift card, and then we would use these for the inside pieces. There's so many different people there. It makes a really, really cute card. So that's that one. And then the other one we're going to make is pretty simple, but I think it is a really fun way, and I'm hoping what I think it's going to look like and what it's going to look like are going to be the same thing. So we'll see. Sometimes my dreams don't make it the way I think they're going to. But what we're going to do, this is the same measurements except it's going to be opposite. So it's going to be a Z fold. So what you're doing is you're basically scoring your card in half at 5 1/2. And you can do one of two things. You can either score this at 2 3/4, or if you feel like you want a better measurement, you can fold it back. This one's just a little bit off. And then reinforce with your bone folder. So there's one. So that's the Z. And then the other one will actually be opposite. So this is the 5 1/2. And we're going to go like this. And then this one is going to be on the front. Sometimes you have to trim just a teeny bit of this off for it to line up right. That's pretty good right there. So they do go opposite. So it's going to be like this when you open it. Okay. So I thought this would be cool. Hopefully you think so too. We'll see. I don't know about the other side, like how I necessarily feel about that side yet, because I don't know if it's going to be 100% of what I want. But so I have another piece of that paper, which this side has the Christmas wreaths, and then the other side has a whole bunch of different sayings. So I thought this would be pretty cool. So we're going to put this down for our inside. Okay. And I'm thinking as I'm doing this, that's why I'm going slow, because I'm thinking of how I want to do it. So what I did was I had another piece left over. Okay. And then same, this is going to go like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put some liquid adhesive here. I'm not going to go all the way to the edge because I feel like I might need to trim a teeny bit of this. And then I'm going to put liquid adhesive here. That way I don't glue this too much. Okay. And then I'm going to put this one on here to the end. You want to make sure it goes to the end and to the bottom if that's where you want. Oops. And then I usually close it and press. Okay, and I got a little bit extra glue there, so I'm going to make sure this one doesn't close yet. But then you have this lined up, so now you have your Z fold, okay? And this hangs over just a little, which I thought it would, so I'm going to trim this up just a smidge. Teeny bit. Okay, so here was my thought as I was working with this paper. I have a little bit of glue there, I just don't want it to stick. You know what I'm going to do real quick, just to make sure it doesn't. I'm going to grab my embossing buddy. I'm just going to tap on the glue. There you go. Not sticky anymore. So for this, kind of going with if you're thinking of It's a Small World, United Nations, what I did was I cut a whole nother thing into strips because we have all these little words. So what I thought is we could trim like some of these out. Now granted, they're all in different languages, so you could do different ones for different things. You could do all in English. You could kind of mix it up a little bit. Almost everything has something that is somehow translatable, like you probably know what it means. Of course, I picked up 2 in a row that didn't. This says Merry Christmas. So I cut these in, these are 1/4 inch strips. This one says Be Merry. No peeking. And I didn't want to cut these up until I kind of told you what I did. So, Peace on Earth. All different ones. Season's Greetings. Again, you could certainly add in, you know, if you have friends that you're sending cards to internationally, you could add in a whole bunch of different ones. But I kind of thought this would be a fun way, maybe if you don't really exactly know what you want to do with this card. Let me just grab a couple more. This one says Nicholas, so I'm going to add that one. And Let It Snow. That one more. That one didn't have anything. This one should have at least something. Deck the Halls. Oh, and Joy to the World. We got a couple on this sheet. Okay, so then what I'm going to do, I have a couple of them on there. I think this one, I don't know what this one says. I think this one is cut off. But anyway, what I'm going to do is, and I'm going to make this just a teeny bit simpler on myself, I'm going to grab my reverse tweezers. And I'm going to kind of just glue a couple of these down. A couple of them can be kind of random places. This is Greetings of the Season. And this might be something where when I'm done with it, I think of a better idea. But I kind of thought this would be cool because all you're basically doing is just adding a bunch of different words. Not really any stamping on here. We're just using up the paper. Again, like I said, we could do different things where we have different languages, kind of mix it up a little bit. Have different ones on different places. The one that says Nicholas, even though this is probably, I'm guessing, in French. Could be German. I'm embarrassed to say I'm not fantastic at many languages. I'm even going to put a couple of them here. So it kind of looks like the wreath is holding a message. You could pop some of these up on foam strips or dimensionals if you wanted to. We need a little blue in here. And just use all different pieces. Probably be great, again, if you are a person who sends cards internationally, because then you could use all the different ones. Just kind of line them up differently. Whoops. This one I wanted to put on a wreath too because I thought it was cute since it said Joy. And then what you could even do is you could save one of these little panels here and you could write your note on the inside. That way you didn't cut up any of the card. Put another one over here. Be Merry. I don't know if I put enough glue on that. But that would be another thing. Now, one other thing you could do if you wanted to, and I didn't save any of these, so I'm going to grab something. Oh, here's Dashing Through the Snow. How perfect. I'm going to do this one. What you could even do, this is like another little extra thing. If you have lots of window sheet left, you could even put one of these on your window sheet. And then what you would have to do is you could kind of close this. I would say maybe want to trim this down a little bit. So I'm going to probably, but what you could do is you could put this on and then when you open it, it'll even have a sign that's standing. So I'm going to just trim this down just a smidge. Okay. I'm going to put a little glue here. And if you wanted to, you could even put something on the other side. That way on one side it says dashing through the snow and the other side said something else that would match. Let's see where this will go so it won't flick. Might have to put it right. Nope, that's going to be too big. Let's see if we put it here. That should work right there. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue. Just a little bit. And again, I'm kind of eyeballing this because I don't want it to stick past the card opening. But, let's see. Trying to make everything straight. Then you could have like a little window sign that was sticking up a little bit. So just like something fun. I don't know, a different way to do different things. Again, you could add a little panel here that was 4 by 2.5. That way you could put your greeting inside of there. But I think it's kind of cute. It's a cute way to add some different stuff to your card. Especially you have that little pop-up element. So it makes it, you could put something on the back. That way it would read just something else if you felt like you wanted to. But I think it's really cute. Simple way to dress up your card with, again, maybe you forgot to bring your inks with you and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't bring my inks. But here you have an entire paper full of all these different sentiments that you could use. So I think that is a pretty fun thing to do if you're looking for an extra way to use some of your paper up at the end of the holiday season, or if you're in a rush. I mean, you could take minimal supplies with you. Really, all you need is your trimmer, some glue, cardstock. Pretty easy. So I hope you guys enjoyed these cards today. So we have this one again. You could do a Z-fold in anything. You could even do a Z-fold with this one. But this one we made was a gift card holder. And then I just have my little sentiment piece. Because a lot of times when I do cards, I don't really know who I'm going to give it to. So I'll usually just put a piece with it. That way when I'm ready, I can add something to it. And it doesn't even have to be in the middle. It could be to the side. I can add something to it, say to, from, put my gift card in there. And then it's really pretty good to go. Really cute. You could also do the same thing again, like we said, with the people and have them singing or something like that. So lots of different fun stuff to do. And remember, you can use both sides of your paper because just because it doesn't match, it still does coordinate. And the colors do go really, really, really nicely together. So this one again was real red. And then this one has definitely olive tones in it. I have all these little things so I could add lots of these other little pieces to this card to finish it off. So I hope you guys enjoyed these today. Again, if you would like to shop in my online store, you can get lots of stuff there 24/7. You don't have to wear your mask. Just make sure you have all of your information. I'll send everything to you directly, which is great. Once again, make sure you stay tuned. The sale next week, I will post a graphic to my Facebook page and to my blog as well, but 99% sure it's the 24th. It is 24 hours only, but probably 95% of the stuff is an additional 10% off. There's only a few things that are excluded. If you have any questions, you can always send me an email or send me a note on Facebook or a message. I will see you guys again Saturday morning. I'm not 100% sure what we're doing yet, so if you have anything you'd like to see made, send me an email and let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you again real soon.